The Mongols, a Samurai Perspective. Thesis. While the Mongols seemed akin to an unstoppable terror from the perspective of the other civilizations, their attempts of conquering Japan not only showed that they did have limits to their power, being the first instance in which their invasion was so thoroughly repelled, but also may have benefited the Japanese, acting as a culture broker and introducing new military tactics, innovations, and other ideas, as well as bringing together the many divided factions of Japan, leading to many technological, social, and political advancements and ideals. Due to Mongol failure to capture Japan, Mongol progress east halted and the confidence of Japan brimmed high, leading to countless events further along in history.
Even though the Mongols seemed unstoppable, we knew their power had a limit. We were the first to stop their invasions, and not only did we defeat them, they even ended up helping us. They brought us samurai together for a common cause in the name of Japan. They also brought innovations and ideas to Japan, as well as advancing political and social structures. In 1206, Mongol territory only covered this much. As the years went by, their territory got bigger and bigger until they decided to finally attack Japan in 1274. As you see, the Mongols kept expanding west, while we effectively halted their progress east. The Mongols attacked us again in 1281, but as you can see, they never got past the Sea of Japan. They ravaged our islands of Tsushima Iki before landing at Hakata Bay on November 19th.
In 1274, the Mongols' fleet sent around 15,000 Mongol and Chinese soldiers, along with 8,000 Korean soldiers. They sailed across the Sea of Japan in about 500 boats.
And that was where our battle started. Our generals were not prepared to command such a huge force, and our strategies were faulty. It had been 50 years since the last military campaign. Also, the Mongols had superior technology and tactics, easily overwhelming us in land battles. We could only wait for reinforcements in our fort. They had weapons we had never seen before, such as composite bows, spears, and rocket-powered arrows. Our swords didn't work against their armor either, and later, we reinvented the katana. Luckily, the gods were on our side, and the kamikaze came and vanquished our enemies. Our smaller ships could navigate the ferocious winds, and under the cover of night, we, the samurai, thoroughly defeated the remaining foes. After our glorious victory, the Mongols dared to send emissaries back. They threatened us despite their loss. We beheaded all of them. Their graves exist even today. We then prepared for the next round of battles. There was no way we would lose. In the spring of 1281, a humongous fleet of 4,400 ships set sail to assault Japan. Once again, they attacked Tsushima and Ikishima before reaching the mainland. We were heavily outnumbered, but we prevailed! Beginning August 15th, the gods came back to us and sent another kamikaze to devastate our enemies. And thus, by the grace of the gods, managed to halt eastern Mongol progress and prevent great harm to our beautiful nation. The hellish fiends were tameable after all.
While the Mongol invasions of Japan failed, they did manage to introduce the Japanese to new military tactics, innovations, and other ideas, ultimately affecting Japan's course in history.
Even though the Mongols were obviously inferior to the glorious Japanese, they did use some interesting strategies and techniques. It was pretty impressive. I could barely believe some of the arsenal they had. If memory serves, they used stuff like bows, crossbows, arrows with fire and poison, and even some weird exploding rocks. The battles were loud, full of foreign war cries and bells and drums. The cowardly Mongols attacked as a group, instead of one-on-one like honorable samurai. They released tons of arrows at a time, before we even reached them. The mere thought gives me the shivers. Shivers of anger. Anyways, one of my favorite depictions is of the samurai Suinaga facing off against countless Mongol villains and Mongol allies. If you look near the upper right above my head at this moment, you can see one of those exploding rocks I told you about. What may be the most important thing the Mongols brought on during their attacks was the concept of kamikaze. Divine wind is on our side. No one can harm us now. We're invincible.
Little did he know that this mentality is what would lead to the downfall of Japan in World War II with the revealing of the first nuclear bombs. The attack of the Mongols also served to unify Japan for the first time. This unification, and later stress on defense of the nation of Japan, led to technological, social, and political change altering Japanese history.
The Mongols weren't that bad after all. It was quite an experience, but with the power of all us samurai together, and some assistance from the gods, we prevailed. This was the first time the whole of Japan united against the common enemy, instead of fighting amongst ourselves. Belief can do amazing things. As they say, in my home country of Japan, Guko Yamo Tsutsu, faith can move mountains.
Despite our samurai's friends' optimism, while the unified Japan did lead to many advancements, they started fighting again soon after. The next time they fought together was in 1592.
The most notable advancements that occurred due to the invasion of the Mongols include the spread of Zen Buddhism in the Sengoku Warring States era, which eventually guaranteed Japanese freedom.
So summing it up, the Mongols were like fiends from hell from the view of many other civilizations, but their attempts to conquer Japan only showed the limits of their power and instead made Japan stronger, acting as cultural brokers by introducing new military weapons and tactics, innovations, and other ideas, as well as causing the many divided factions of Japan to come together for a common enemy, leading to many technological, social, and political advancements and ideals.